Good afternoon everybody, and a warm welcome to Berringer and the big Berringer redevelopment project part number 6. First things first, this video may take a while. I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take, so you might want to just grab a few bits and pieces and just chill out and watch me ramble on for a little while. Because I've got quite a lot to show you. As you can see, we're back to the original format of my videos, and you're more than welcome at Berringer. So the station building's back, the footbridge is back, and before we go into too much detail as to what I've done, I just thought I'd give you a brief outline in terms of when I started it, what is it I wanted to achieve from Berringer. And what I mean by that is, why change the original station from the way it was to the way it is now, and have I achieved that? And Berringer station used to be, from those of you who followed me from days of old will know that the Berringer station itself was a terminus station, and so it originally terminated here, but then because of the fiddle yard, which will go sort of head towards and B&Q, now we've expanded it over there. The terminus was facing the wrong way round, and so therefore I wasn't getting as much use out of Berringer as I could have done and making the most out of it. So my objectives were to turn Berringer into a through station, to also repair and replace the wonky lines that ran through the underground station for better reliability, better running, and also my last objective was to hopefully get the branch line all the way around direct to the fiddle yard and beyond. And pretty much that's the way it has shaped up, and it's taken me longer than what I've expected, and that's purely because there's a number of extra things have cropped up along the way, which wasn't foreseen, and then I've actually ended up getting on and doing it, and I thought whilst I'm here I might as well do it and do it properly. So let's get on with it. We'll start with the town scene, because that's pretty much where we're at, and you can see it's how it's pretty much stayed the same. There is a few tweaks, but nothing major. Firstly, I should say that this update is also going to incorporate some new additions actually to the fleet. No locos, but actually rolling stock, and I think there's one or two vehicles, I think possibly just the one vehicle to show you, that I didn't get to show you last time. And as we go through town, the first vehicle to show you is my Transit British Gas Van Connect. And this was here on when I did a nuclear flask update, which I'm going to get back into soon. Like I said, the reason why I've been doing so much work on this side of the layout is purely because the fact I wanted to try and get all the construction work done before I went back to work. So that's basically one of my new additions. Berringer bus station and everything's changed. Well, it's the same, except obviously the manipulation of the road vehicles in terms of positioning them and all the rest of it. It's actually a bit more freer. What I've tried to do is I've tried to use my NCP car park a bit more and make it look a bit more user friendly and make it out like it's been used actually. So that's that's one of the things I've done. Then we move on to Woolworths and Woolworths and Blockbuster Video. One of the things I have done actually is I've actually tidied this up a bit, and this is one of the extra bits that wasn't unforeseen, which has kind of added a bit of time. I decided to sort of tidy this up, and I've put some greenery along here, put a footpath along down there. I still haven't finished it because I need to level up this side, and I'll tell you why shortly. So that was one of the extra bits. So there was a number of extra bits and pieces which I've done to the layout, which wasn't necessarily planned or foreseen, but I've had to do in order to try and get it to run better. And so basically the town scene's essentially the same as it was before. Now, one of the things I've done literally just today was to redo this little bit of track joint here. the reason why I did that is there was a slight gap, slight height difference, which was causing the trains to jolt, and it wasn't very smooth. So I decided, again, this is one of those extra bits that I've done, which has taken the time, but it's done nonetheless for smoother running. And now it's been done, and now the trains are running better through there. Over at B&Q side, that is pretty much the same as it was before, and then we go into the fill yard. Now I can't actually run any trains into the fill yard because all the track that was laid in the fill yard was actually used on the Berringer redevelopment project, and that's purely because I didn't want to get the track damaged whilst it was sitting over there, because all the buildings and everything like that, when they were evacuated and sat on the fill yard area. So I took all that track up and used it because it was all brand new. And then basically, it's not to damage the track work, so I used all of that instead. So now I need to buy some new track for the fill yard. Now if we come out, you'll see what I've done. Now originally I did say I was going to put a bit of perspex here, but I actually prefer this method better. I like it. There's also a huge number of improvements. I'm just going to sort of pan out for you, and then we'll get a closer look into it as we go along. But as you can see, if you pan out, you can see the two layers, and you can also see sort of a light where the webcam is currently switched on, and we'll get to that soon. And as you pan round, you can see Berringer Station taking shape, and the fascia board is curved round and following the lines of the layout all the way along. Currently on the station we have our NSC Mark 1 stock. I have added to this, we're now running 5 coaches. The first 4 are Lima coaches, and this is the one I picked up at an exhibition on Saturday at Basingstoke, and this is actually a Bachmann, and I've been going through a bit of a upgrade program with my rolling stock, particularly my coaches, because I didn't particularly like my Mark 1 coaches, blue grey ones of Lima, because I felt they looked dated, but these NSC ones are looking much better. And so I've decided to keep these and maybe see if I can get a flush glazing kit off of eBay to get them sorted out. On the station itself, there's loads of signage everywhere, and also there's also some signage actually on the station, little station building. Forgive me, we're going to be going up and down the layout this part as I'm going through it. Also, a lot of it's come back, a lot of the furniture's come back, so it looks much better. And another one of the biggest things that has cropped up through me doing the refurbishment program was actually the retaining wall, and the platform ends, because they were never ever really, I wasn't really planning on painting them in the brick red, in this brown colour. They were just always going to remain in the brick red that I had it before, because I quite liked it before. It was only through the experimentation that I'd done before that I really liked it, that I decided to do the whole lot in this brown, and then that took a lot of time to do. As you can see, the island platform is still the same, but there's a lot more signage going on, there's a lot more detail going on. Railings have been added as well, and basically also the Berringer island platform building has also had a lot of work done, and I'll go into that in a little while. As we move along, we've got some more detailing here. We've got some more railings, the information board which I'd had before, and the Nightwing lights that I had before. But as you can probably tell, I've bought myself a Bachmann BR Type 15 signal box, and I think it sits rather lovely there in that corner. I think it's a lovely spot where I took the there was a siding there, if you remember, and that's been removed, and I've just put the signal box there, which I think looks really lovely, and it's well in keeping with the station, so I'm really pleased with that. And the wonky track that was down here, that's all gone. And if we move along, you can see that my University of Leicester, is ready to go, and it's now pulling a new rake of coaches, which I've added. The first two I'd already had, which were the two Batman ones, which are a first class, and then there was a buffet car. But what I've added is I've added two brand new Tourist Second Open Mark 1s, and there's also a brake on the back of that, so there's basically 5 coaches attached to that. And basically that is now like a really updated Mark 1 fleet rolling stock coaching kit, which I've put together, which I'm really sort of happy with, because the blue grey Lima ones that I had previous really were showing their age, and they really did look like very dated, but now these are all proper up-to-date Batman Mark 1 blue grey coaches, which I'm really pleased with, and they look lovely behind the University of Leicester. And we're going to take the University of Leicester for a little spin, because I want to show you the big major difference to this layout, and you're going to see it right about. Ooh, I'm going to just pop myself down. You're going to see it now. Yep, that's it folks. I have been busy lighting Berringer station, and these are my £1 lights from Poundland that I bought, my Christmas fairy lights, and they are now working a treat. So I've been busy fitting them into my island platform building. I also, whilst I was there, painted the top of the building and replaced the roof of the building that I had before, and replaced it with a new one. So that goes on there as well. I should also, whilst I'm down at this end, give a big shout out to Dave Howarth and his regulator off of eBay, because that's exactly what that is powering it, all those lights, and it's nice and flicker free. The control panel is working, but it still needs to be wired up, because I'm still trying to work out what switches I want and what I want them to do. And it's just lit up the place really well. I'll turn the lights off shortly, but I'll take you down to Berringer so you can have a good look. This is, if I just pan you out, just so you can sort of see, and we'll get into it in a bit more detail. The inside of Berringer, as you can see, has got detail on it. It's got benches, it's got signs, it's got posters, it's got a drinks dispenser, some brute trolleys as you move along, and it's all lit up. Also, what I've done is the carriage sidings I've also lit up, so when the drivers get off the train, basically they can see where they're going and have a little walkway which they can actually see. I've also added 2 LEDs, red LEDs for this on the buffers, and that's something else I've done. And that took a lot of time, because originally there was no plan to have the carriage sidings, let alone have the lighting for the carriage sidings. So this is completely new, so that took up a lot of time. I knew I wanted to light up Berringer station and hopefully light up the station building, as you can see, and that's proved a treat. Now, something else I wanted to show you is on my screen here. I don't know how well you can see this, but this is Berringer Underground Station now, lit up, because it's now got that constant light. I've also, this side had lighting before, But on the other side, on platform 5, there wasn't any lighting, so basically platform 4 had to sort of cover the lighting for both platforms. But now there's lighting on both sides, it's much brighter. And also, when I bring the 47 in, you'll see just how much better the colour is and the light is, because before the light off the webcam would just bounce off the 47 and it would just brighten up the 47 or the loco, and it would just drown out the front of the loco with all this light. Now you'll see that the colour is much better. Here you can see my 47 now, and the colour variation is so much better now because the webcam isn't on full power, full brightness to get the right amount of light into the underground station, because now there's just generally enough light in the underground station without needing the webcam to be the main provider for the light under there. And also because whereas before there was only lighting on platform 4, it was also battery powered before, so there wasn't that constant brightness and constant illumination. Now by using that transformer from eBay that I got through Dave Howarth and the regulator, that's providing now constant light into the underground station, and it's constant brightness, so the light doesn't drain away because the batteries are now running low. So that's the great thing about it. So Berringer underground station looks so much better now with that attached. It's just so much better now the lighting's connected to the regulator. I'm going to be doing the same for Moorwood. I haven't done that yet. Moorwood station's going to be connected up and hooked up to the regulator, and then that will be powered through that, and that again will enhance the layout even further by having more lights around the layout and constant brightness. As I showed you briefly earlier, one of my new acquisitions is this BR Type 15 signal box. It's so new that I didn't even have a chance to put any lighting in it, and in all fairness, if I put any lighting in it right now it's going to look pretty rubbish because there's no interior in it at all at the moment. So if I did put any lighting in it, it just wouldn't look very good because it would just show the emptiness of the signal box. So that's something else I'm planning on doing. Last by no means least, and one of the biggest differences to this layout, not only in terms of lighting, I think that's probably the biggest difference on the layout, is the lighting, and I'm going to show it to you with the lights turned off. In fact, I'll do that now before I get on and show you my last bit. So bear with me a second, I'll turn off all the lights and then you can see for yourself what it's like. So here we are, Berringer, pretty much at night, just to give you the effect along. So I've put one LED up on this end just to try and bring some light down towards this end of the platform. I've also put it down this side of the building as well as this side. I also added a little LED right here just to illuminate the corridor. So that's done really well. I didn't have any lighting here just because of the way the monitors were. I'm also thinking of possibly putting, there's a little porta cabin here which you can, I don't know if you can just about see it, and there's also a little waiting room over that corner. It hasn't got lighting, which I'm thinking of doing some lighting over there. So if you go right in, you can see the brightness of the lights, and they're really bright. Just what I wanted. And if I sort of zoom out, I think it even creates a better effect. And then you've got the lighting for the carriage sidings just here, and you can just see the two LEDs, red LEDs at the end to mark the end of the carriage sidings. This was taken from an idea from Everard Junction, but I've kind of improvised with that idea because I didn't connect any of this to any resistors. This is all connected direct to the regulator, and it's regulating at 3 volts, and that is enough to power all of these LEDs currently. So I think it's just really nice, and I'm really happy with it. And as you can see, if I just sort of zoom out, that's as far as we got. And there is lighting over at Moorwood, but that's battery powered at the moment, and like I said, I think what I'm going to do, which is one of the reasons why the control panel isn't really fixed yet, because I'm still trying to work out what switches are going to do what in terms of here. So I've kind of laid it roughly to where I want it and what I want to do. So I haven't really finalised anything yet in terms of what switches are going to do what and all the rest of it. So hopefully it'll all be wired up fairly soon. I mean, it is a pity. I did try and see if I can put some lighting over here on the retaining wall. I did toy with that idea and I did try a little trick, but it just really didn't work. So one of the other things to do might be to get some kite lights lighting or something like that, just to add to it, or maybe I'll just leave it as it is. I mean, I like the atmosphere that it creates as it is, to be honest with you. But like I said, I think with the signal box excuse me, being lit, once I get the insides done, I'll probably get one of those little ratio lever kit signal box kits that you can buy. I'll probably get one of those for that, do that, put that inside, put another LED through that. Like I said, I might even put an LED and a little man in the porter cabin if that's possible, and then again that will just bring just a touch of light down this end where it's a bit dark, and then probably put a couple of LEDs on this resin building here, and if that's the case, then obviously that will hopefully then light up this sort of darker side of the platform. So, and that might very well provide enough to cover the station, although there is no lighting on the town scene at all. But again, I don't think I'm going to do that because of the fact that I need to get the lighting from, it would have to come from underneath, and this is all removable to be able to access what's underneath. So I'm not exactly sure whether or not I'll be able to do it, or maybe if I did it through battery packs or something like that, which I could do because I've got enough battery packs that I could probably do it like that, without having to drill holes and things like that. I could just quickly just sort of pop one underneath one of these sort of corner buildings, because these sort of sections come off, so I could probably put a battery pack under there or something like that and light up the building, I suppose. But yeah, that is what's been done. Obviously there's a lot more to do because, like I said, I've got all the ballasting to do, and all the rest of it, and some signals to put in and everything like that. Just one small point, when I was trying to test that 47 under the underground station, one of my new coaches just constantly derailed on this new section at the back, and when I took the coach out, all the other coaches ran sweet and they're all fine. And it turns out that I had a back gauge, I think it's a back-to-back gauge they call it, to check the width of the wheels, and it turns out that it wasn't quite right. So I've just basically pulled it out with the gauge, just slotted the gauge in to get them realigned, and now it's running sweet. And this is a brand new coach that I've just spent 30 quid on. So yeah, not very good, Batman. So yeah. Anyway, on that note, like I said, I will love you and leave you. Take care. Please feel free to comment and subscribe. And like I said, I will leave you with this kind of evening shot type thing of my island platform building. I'm really pleased with this. Actually, this has come out really, really well. Now I've got a little chock block just behind that window. So as a little tip, if you do some of your buildings and you want to hide the chock, just put a piece of black card behind it and let the light just come out through the other windows. I mean, you can still sort of see the wiring if you look close enough. I could tidy that up, but I'm quite happy with it as it is, to be honest. I don't think you're going to pay that close attention for it to sort of really sort of take note. I think the pros of the lighting far outweigh the cons, to be truthful with you. It's come out so well. I'm just so pleased. You can just see the overall effect. And let me just get a view of it under here so you can have a real good look. That just looks really cool. I like this view. I'm really happy with this. And yes, like I said, please feel free to comment and subscribe. Any questions, comments, please feel free to make them. And if you do have any questions, I'll do my very best to help you answer them. So take care and bye for now. Okay, now I nearly forgot, as the airhead that I am sometimes. I was going to say to you before I left the lighting that I had something else that made a big difference to the layout and the running of it, and the big difference is my controller. Now you've all seen this before. It's a Morley controller and it's got a handheld unit, and there's two of them. Now this week I received an extension cable of 5 I think it's 5.5 meters or 5 meters, and basically this now enables me to take my Morley controller handheld all the way around the flat. I now have access to my whole flat via this one handheld controller, so I don't have to keep chopping and changing or anything like that, and I can access my whole flat through that one controller without having to plug it in elsewhere. So that was all I wanted to say as the extra bit. So, and that will make a huge difference to the running of the layout. So this time I really will leave you, and so bye from Berringer, and I will speak to you all soon, no doubt. Bye for now.